Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons show. We will do some... What do we do after? No, hold on. I have lost my entire train of thought. This is not going well. I have some announcements, and I will have a recap for all of you, but stop laughing at me, Kay. You listening to the audio will not know because she's muted, but Kay is laughing at me. Anyways, I'll have some announcements and a recap for all of you. But first, Nick, would you care to kick off some player introductions?
Sure. Hi, I'm Nick. I play Embers of White Ash, the Tabaxi monk.
Hi, I'm Kay. I play Lady Elwyn Amalos, the Elvish Druid.
Hello, I am Melissa, and I play Tuppence, who is a custom lineage race pixie, and she's a bard.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I play Rook, who's a changeling artificer. We've only done these intros like once or twice, maybe, so it's okay, Ethan.
Yeah, I've never gone through that entire spiel before, clearly. Anyways, those announcements I mentioned, we premiere our episodes on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Throughout the show, we use a variety of custom items, as well as Melissa mentioned, a custom pixie lineage. So be aware of that as you're watching. Our character portraits, which you will see all over our layout, were drawn by an artist named Krista Porter. Goes by @KristaPorter with 2 R's at the end on Twitter. If you need a refresher on anything that's going on in our campaign, you can check out our campaign wiki at worldanvil.com. There's a new page right on the homepage. There's a link to it that has a nice recap of everything that has happened in this campaign so far. And I plan on updating that frequently. So that's a good place to get caught up. Other than that, you could check the video description for links and information to everything I just mentioned and more, including some links to Stop Asian Hate resources, as well as Black Lives Matter resources. Finally, you can follow us on Twitter at Antiheroes Anon, and we hope that you enjoy the show, share with your friends, and come back to watch some more. And with that out of the way, let's roll the intro video. Anyways, welcome back. So that recap I mentioned, and then we will dive right into the action for tonight. The party took on a job to infiltrate a cargo ship coming into their current city of residence, Port Horizon Shroud. Upon carrying out their job, they found cages filled with strange and monstrous creatures. Their client turned out to be an Imperial warden who asked them to continue investigating these incidents. After fighting off doppelrats in their home base, a tavern called the Mill House, as well as a malevolent ape creature in the streets, the Silver Seekers navigated their way to a ward of the city known as the Dens in hopes of finding a kobold named Molo, because they suspected that he might be mixed up with the Dragontooth Brotherhood, which is a dangerous gang that the party believes to be at the center of all of this chaos. However, it turns out the kobolds were prepared for the party, and now they have been split into 2 different distinct groups by a series of traps set in Molo's warren, deep within the dens. And that is where we're going to have to pick up. So I'll set the scene for the group of you guys again. And Zach, if you would throw up the map camera, that'd be great. Yeah. Yep. Just barf up the map camera.
Okay.
Um,
Somehow it managed to get on OBS for my mouth, so we're all good.
perfect. Embers. No. Let's start. I'll explain what is going on with Elwyn and Rook first, and then we'll come to Embers and Tuppence. Elwyn and Rook, having been cut off from Embers and Tuppence by a rock slide triggered by some firecrackers embedded in the ceiling, continue to explore sort of the western path of the tunnels, which took them to a empty pit, a revealed plank trap of some kind, a loop-de-loop mushroom farm, and ultimately to an alcove filled with boxes. The boxes, now empty, clearly used to contain the cages of some of these strange creatures who you encountered on the cargo ship. However, it seems you've come to a dead end, so the two of you are going to have to turn around and find another way forward. Meanwhile, Embers and Tuppence, cut off on the other side of this rock slide, managed to duck into an alcove where there was a cart filled with coins of some kind, which they promptly ignored and followed the sounds of, or actually I think the sight of retreating kobolds. And as the two of you approached the kobolds, they began to, pull out slings and tiny little daggers and brandish them menacingly. So we are going to start today off by rolling initiative with just Tuppence and Embers for now. With that, let's hear those initiatives. How did Embers do?
And 8.
8. Glorious start. And
Yes.
Tuppence?
22.
22. No way. Okay. I was convinced these kobolds were going to go first when Embers rolled an 8, but apparently not.
Favorite thing in the world is to go first.
I know.
Tuppence, you are the first to act. You see these kobolds. One of them pulls out like a leather strap sling type thing that it begins spinning around in a circle, and it's got like a rock at the end that it is clearly going to hurl in your direction. The other one has like one of those wooden Y-shaped slingshots that it begins to draw backward, similarly loaded with a rock of some kind. What would you like to do?
Okay. First of all, I'm going to yell at them and say, we really don't want to hurt you. We're just looking for somebody. And I'm going to hold an action in case they start to attack if they don't listen to me.
Okay. As soon as you shout that out, and what are you holding for your action? What would you like to do if they do attack?
I'm going to cast a spell. Do I have
Okay.
to tell you which one?
No.
Cantrip. Sorry, cantrip.
Okay. That's fine. You don't really need to tell me which one, but I think under ordinary circumstances you would, but I trust you to stick to what you want to do.
Okay.
Right. As soon as you shout that out and kind of brace yourself for action, should they show any hostile aggression, they show hostile aggression. They shout back at you, right, and we just want you to get out of our warrens! And then they start, spinning the slings even fiercer and fire some rocks in your direction. They probably perceive Embers as the bigger danger because she's taller. So I think
the bigger danger, yes.
Yeah. They're both going to fire their slings at Embers. Let me just make sure they're in range.
The cantrip goes off first, though, right?
It would go off after the action that triggers it. So not quite until they've actually done their thing. This one is going to have to come around the corner there to get to do what he wants to do. But from here, I believe they both should be able to fire at Embers. Yep, they're both within range. Okay, here we go. I think these are both misses. The highest one is a 16.
Misses.
Misses, yeah. So both rocks go wide, and Embers, you kind of duck out of the way as they sail over your head and clatter against the landslide behind you. And when they see that both of their attacks miss, they go, eep! And begin turning the other direction. But that's when Tuppence's action would go off.
Very impressive. I think I'll hire you out for children's parties. And vicious mockery goes off.
Okay. This is the first time you've used that, so walk me through it. Do they need to make a saving throw?
Yes. Wisdom
And-
saving throw.
And which one do you want to mock, the top one or the bottom one?
Let's go with the bottom one first.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw. Here we go.
DC 13.
So you're telling me a 10 doesn't do it. Okay, so that's a
Right.
failure.
Okay. And it is a 3 of psychic damage. And
Okay.
then they have a disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes.
There we go. So that one kind of like grips its head and it just shouts out in common, "What did you do to me?" And then let's see, that one had to use 5, 10 to get here. So it only has limited movement. Let's see. It's going to run backwards. Another 5, 10, 15, 20, and out of sight. Okay. And they kind of run off into the darkness. Embers, what would you like to do?
How tight are these corridors for Embers? Am I still squeezing through them?
The one that you're in now, you will have to squeeze, but once you get to like this point here, just a few feet ahead of you, you'll be able to walk normally until you get over to this stalagmite
Okay.
a little ways down the tunnel.
All right. So let's see. This is 10, 15, 20, 25, 35, 40. I can get to about here.
So let me actually reveal just a bit more. You from there could probably see that kobold there.
Yeah, I get
and
right up to
that's-
the stalactite right in front of the tight tunnel again.
And the kobold that you can see is the one that is kind of clutching its head and still kind of screaming a little bit like, "Wah!" as it runs down the tunnel.
Okay. I am going to take the dodge action
Okay.
and say to it, Molo.
It you say that pretty quietly as it's running away screaming, but it just says, "No, I'm not Molo." It shouts that back as it keeps running.
My mistake.
Then it is someone off screen's turn. Can both of you roll perception checks?
Sure. Oh, this is almost a nat 20, but it was cocked. I'll roll again. Let's see. 15 for me.
15. And
17.
Tuppence? 17. So both of you would hear the sounds of sort of scurrying and hurried movement further down the tunnel. You would also hear a few like hushed words spoken in Draconic, but since neither of you speak that language, you don't really know what they mean. Okay, it's Tuppence again.
Okay, I'll fly as far as I can go. Let's see. So my fly speed. So I'll come right here.
So you rush ahead just in front of Embers, pretty much.
Yeah. And I'll try to yell again. Come on, guys. We've come a long way. We just want to talk to Molo. We really don't want to hurt you, but you fired first, buddy.
In response to that, it shouts something ahead of itself in Draconic, and the only word that you can make out in it is it says the word Molo in there, but it shouts it ahead to, somewhere elsewhere in the tunnels, not back towards you. Do you want to hold an action or anything?
No, I'll just wait.
Okay. Then it's their turn. And this one is going to, the one that you can see, kind of at the bend of the tunnel, who just shouted something forward, is going to throw a sling bullet back at Tuppence, but it has disadvantage because of your vicious mockery. And I don't think a 6 will hit you, will it?
No.
Okay. Then
Firing at me.
you hear more screaming in the tunnels ahead, but it's kind of unclear what is happening exactly. And then this kobold disappears out of sight. Actually, it'll go this way. Okay, and now you have no kobolds in sight, but it is Ember's turn.
I think a frowning Embers is going to ask Tuppence, are we going to have to beat them up?
That's what I didn't want to do.
Me neither.
But they're trying to protect their home. I get it, but I wish we had Elwyn here to calm the situation.
It'll have to be you for the time being. I'll take the heat off you, or I'll try. And Embers will
Okay.
go forward through this crack. So let's see, this 5. Now it's 10, 20, 30. I don't know where to go from here.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I was moving something off screen that I forgot to move earlier.
Embers is just like squeezing through these narrow tunnels because she's huge. She's not a huge creature. Let's not get that twisted.
She is in comparison to these kobolds.
Yes. Yeah, and then the last 10 feet movement will go down here
Okay. You can
around the
well,
fork,
actually from
around the
there
bend.
you'd probably also be able to see into this corner of the room. You start to see what looks like kind of a resting area.
Mhm.
There's like piles of dirt and rocks that seem to have been pushed around to create comfortable sleeping spots.
Mhm.
And you can see at least one kobold is kind of sitting there waiting around the corner. And as you come into view, it actually throws it pulls back on like one of those like Y-shaped slingshots and fires a rock at you.
Okay.
From a held action. This one might hit 21.
Yeah, that'll.
Yeah. So it is 4 bludgeoning damage from that bullet, and then it says, "Ha! Got you!"
Embers just winces and takes the dodge action again.
Okay. It is another person who is off screen. It's their turn. If you want to roll another perception check, I think Embers is probably the only one far enough ahead to hear this.
It's a 19.
Okay. You hear more sort of scurrying and scuffling ahead as some creature further in the tunnels moves around. But this one also seems to be barking orders. Like it seems to have sort of an authoritative tone, and it is speaking in Draconic to these other kobolds. But obviously you don't know what it is saying exactly.
You really need to learn Draconic, you guys.
Yep.
One of us clearly does.
I only had a spell slot.
Tuppence.
Okay. Well, I'll try to catch up. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay, from that vantage point, I'll reveal the rest of the room to Tuppence. You come out into the tunnel and you see two more kobolds. You think that these two are probably the two who were in the original room. Both of them had to move, so they don't have any held actions, but they seem surprised that you're following after them so quickly, and they shout at you, "Why do you keep following us?" And what would you like to do with your turn?
We're still looking for Molo. We're not leaving without talking to him. It would be better if you just got him. Really, don't make me hurt you because I will.
Says the angry pixie. Are you going to do
Do you
anything with your turn?
flex while you're at it too?
Is that an intimidation check from you?
Yeah, you could make an intimidation check with your turn if that's what you want to do.
You know, I will.
Okay.
Bulging muscles. I've wrestled
Hey,
bigger
Whoa,
things
that's
than
pixie,
you.
that you are.
That's a 13 plus 4. That's not bad. 17.
That's really good, actually. Yeah, that one that you're standing right in front of, you kind of get right up in its face. And you can see its eyes go really wide as you're like right up in its face saying this to it. And it it shouts to its fellow kobolds that are with it here. This one's trouble. You guys run. I'll hold them off. And then it's the kobold's turn, and
His wings are twitching.
and then this one's going to run too. The one that was sort of in the far corner of the room and is now running past Tuppence will make a sling attack as it goes towards Tuppence. Does an 11 hit you?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, so that sling bullet goes clattering against the wall. This other kobold, the one who said that it would hold you off, kind of plants itself squarely in front of you, and it brandishes like this wooden dagger at you, and will make a dagger attack. A 10 doesn't hit you, so
Nope.
you kind of, with your fairy wings, dodge out of the way as it just is swinging wildly with the dagger. Take this, and this, and this, and this!
Why are you making this so hard?
I have to move a couple more people off screen, so give me just a second. Okay. Then it is Embers.
Right. Let's see. This looks like still squeezy terrain, so
Yeah, it's still pretty
10
squeezy for
Squeezy.
Embers.
Squeezy.
terrain.
These
10
tunnels are, if Embers was claustrophobic, these tunnels would definitely feel like they were pressing in on you from all sides.
Yeah, so that's 20 feet. And then I'm going to grapple this kobold.
Okay.
How do grapples work? I don't ever remember.
So you need to make an athletics check
Okay.
versus their acrobatics or athletics check. And I just need to look up if squeezing affects you at all. I have the rules bookmarked, so let me open that. Let's see. While squeezing, disadvantage on attack rolls and dex saves, but nothing about athletics checks, so you are golden to make just a straight roll.
Okay. Well, I made a straight roll. It was not great.
This thing doesn't roll great either. Let's see, what is a kobold's? We'll go with dex. It's 10.
Does not beat my 11.
Okay, so yeah, you grab onto this thing and it starts writhing and squirming.
Okay.
No, let me go!
Then I'm going to move here and pull it with me and put it in the bottom of this chamber.
Okay.
And it just like right to the south of me.
Oh, right to the south of you.
Yeah,
Perfect. Mhm.
And tell it, please just stay here.
Okay. It is writhing and screaming and resisting you.
Yeah.
but next turn perhaps you can make a persuasion check or something to keep it
Yeah.
there.
I let go of him as soon
Oh, okay.
as he's in that place.
I need to move something off screen. Okay. Then it is Tuppence.
Still look for Molo.
Oh, you know, Embers, when you came down that way, you can probably see a little further down the tunnel. There is a kobold in view there. But you can't see beyond sort of that bend of the tunnel. Tuppence, you would recognize this kobold that you can see kind of in the bend of the hall. That one would be the one who fled but fired a sling bullet at you as it ran.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna get up in its face. And what's your name?
You know, I should have had a kobold name generator up.
Are you a friend of Molo?
This kobold says, I'm Nid, and yeah, kobold's my bro. Or not, Molo's my bro. Sorry, I have kobolds on the brain.
Okay.
I'll never
And-
let you get him.
I'm going to take my mage hand and I'm going to grab his ear.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, I'm not going to let go until you take me to Molo.
Okay. Can you make a sort of a charisma check, I think, with your mage hand?
Charisma check.
You're looking to beat a 7.
It's a +3 on a 13 is a 16.
Yeah, so your mage hand does manage to grab this kobold by sort of I don't think they have like ears that protrude from their heads, but they do have these little horns on the top of their heads, so you could grab onto that. And your mage hand does manage to grapple it for now. It's kind of like straining against it, but the mage hand is cumbersome enough that you're holding it in place.
Okay, let's go. Take me.
I'm not taking you anywhere.
Oh,
It's
yes,
very
you are.
uncooperative. Okay, it is the kobold's turn. This one, Embers, who you have captured and put in a corner, kind of looks at its situation. It thinks about, like, you can see the eyes darting around, clearly thinking about running, but it sees that you're in front of it, and then Tuppence is kind of cut off its escape route, and seeing as you're not really like threatening it, you let go of it. It folds its arms, crosses its legs, and sits down on the ground and goes, humph! And then this one next to Tuppence is going to pull out one of those like wooden daggers and slash at you. But a 9 is not going to do it.
Yep.
So it's just screaming, "Let me go! Let me go! Let me go!" as it's flailing with this dagger, but it can't reach you. The rest of the kobolds who are off screen need to move. Okay. And then these ones here.
I love kobolds.
There's just so much chaos in such a small body. Embers, it's your turn.
Right. Embers squeezes into this tunnel, joining Tuppence, and is going to try and grapple Nid.
Okay. All right, Nid, come on. Big rolls. No, it's not a big roll. You're looking to beat a 5.
Yeah, I got a 14.
Okay. My rolls are sort of supporting the narrative that these kobolds suck. What do
Embers
you want
is.
to do once you've grappled this kobold?
I'm going to move him out of the tunnel into this large area that she just came from.
Uh-huh.
So just like put him here.
Okay.
And once again, Embers says, please, please just stay here. and Embers is going to start moving further through this tunnel. I think she can get to like here.
Okay. As you go, it takes a little swipe at you with its
Sure.
dagger. It's a 7, so that's a miss.
Yeah.
It's like the fourth 3 that I've rolled today. Gosh,
Get in my
darn
turn.
kobolds. Okay. Let me see if you can see anything else. Let me just I'll reveal a little bit more.
Embers just picking up these kobolds by the scruff of their neck and just like depositing them somewhere else.
You know what? I will just, even though you probably can't quite see there, I will reveal a section just for completeness. There we go. Okay. You hear more commands being shouted backwards by some more authoritative voice up ahead, but you can't see what is going on there or understand because it is in Draconic. Then it is Tuppence's turn. Tuppence, what would you like to do?
Embers, you're really good with those guys. I wish I had your patience. Let's go a little further. 10, 15, 20. I think that's as far as I can go to see.
I will reveal a little bit more. Just a
I
second.
wonder when these tunnels are going to quit.
Not quitting yet.
Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I can make it there, I think.
Okay. Then you would see a little bit further ahead. Oops. I think I just darkened an area. It's not what I meant to do. There we go. And you can see 2 kobolds firmly planted in your path now, as if they've been waiting for you to come this way. And they both hurl rocks in your direction. Oop. One of them is a natural 20. The first kobold to actually do something. And
Wow.
the other one
No,
I
it
have...
got me. It got me before.
I keep throwing my other dice off the desk. All right, here we go. And the other one is actually a really good roll. So an 18 and a natural 20.
Yeah, both hit.
Okay. Well, the regular hit does 4 bludgeoning damage. And the natural 20 does... Dang. 9 bludgeoning damage.
Ooh, yikes.
And the one that gets the really strong hit that kind of like catches you in the head and sends you reeling backwards through the air, it just shouts back at you, "Ha! Ha! I got one! Take that! For Molo!"
Keep telling you we're not going to hurt Molo.
Anything else on your turn, Tuppence? I think you still have an action.
Yeah, let's I don't really want to hurt those guys, but
And remember, you can always do non-lethal damage, so you can just like knock them out.
yeah.
You also have things like intimidate and persuasion checks that you could try making.
Well, I think I'm going to pull out a dart and say, "You think you're the only ones with weapons. Do you really want us to hurt you? We don't want to." And I will do, is one of them the one that I hurt previously?
Let me check. Yes, this one here, sort of on the right side, looks to be the one that you had originally cast a spell on.
Okay, so I'll aim it at the other one with non-lethal damage,
Okay.
a dart, and I'll say, "Do you see my lute that's strapped to my back? I'll gladly play a song instead, but you're making me do this."
It seems confused. Like, why would that be a bad thing? Music sounds fine.
So I rolled a 16. Does 16 hit?
That will hit this kobold, yes. It
Okay,
catches it
so-
squarely in the shoulder.
It's only a D4. That's why I picked it. So it is 5 piercing damage.
Okay. That one falls unconscious there on the ground.
Okay.
The dart like catches it in the shoulder and it pulls it out, and there's like a little bit of blood. It sees the blood, goes ah, and then faints.
This pixie is the most terrifying creature
Oh,
that
yeah.
has ever invaded the dens.
Guys, if you just let us pass.
It's Tuppentzilla! Run!
Then it is the kobold's turn. This one that you previously hit with your spell, that you viciously mocked, comes running forward towards Tuppence. These other two that Embers has put in the den area, what are they gonna do? Yeah, they're gonna come after Embers now. But fortunately, Embers is blocking the entire tunnel, so they can't crawl past and like flank you or anything like that. So it's just one of them.
A
And
bum attack.
Both of these are going to make dagger attacks. So the one against Tuppence is a 13,
Misses.
and the one against Embers is another natural 20. These kobolds are turning the tide little by little. So Embers, from the little wooden dagger, you take 8 piercing damage.
Is it down?
So this dagger should not really be capable of like I guess it's a wooden dagger, so it shouldn't be piercing damage, it's bludgeoning damage. This dagger shouldn't be capable of knocking Embers unconscious or anything like that, but this kobold manages to get up behind you in just the right place and knocks you on the back of the head, and you are unconscious, but not dying. It does non-lethal damage to Embers.
Okay, so I'm just knocked out.
And Tuppence, from behind you, you hear a cheerful, like a jubilant shout. Ha ha ha! The cat is down! Then that's the kobolds. Let me see if there's any other kobolds that need to move. Nope. Then it is Embers, but you don't have to make any death saves because you are non-lethally damaged. Someone else moves off screen. And then it is Tuppence. What would you like to do, Tuppence? I think you're muted.
Looking
There
to
you
see
go.
if I had a spell slot, but I don't.
Second time Empress is going down in one day.
Yeah, that monkey was unreasonably tough before.
Who is this kobold?
Well, and you also only have
I know.
10 HP.
I
You
know.
are
Yeah.
the squishiest of all of us, and you're supposed to be our tank.
I know.
Also, it was a natural 20 from this ridiculous kobold. So,
Okay, so, and Tuppence isn't looking too great either.
this one in front of you isn't looking too great either, I'll say.
Okay. Well, if you're not going to let me pass, you're going to go the way your friend went. And I'll take out my dagger, since he's right there,
Mhm.
and do non-lethal damage.
Okay, you gonna bop him on the head?
Yeah. The plan I had didn't go so well. Okay, so that is, not really good. That's only a 12.
A 12 hits.
Ah, good. and it's 4 piercing.
You bop that one on the head, and its eyes kind of roll back in its socket, and it slumps to the ground unconscious.
Okay.
Look at this path of destruction this pixie is leaving in her wake.
I
What
know.
would you like to do, Tuppence?
Okay, I still have my movement, right?
Yep, and a bonus
Okay.
action if you have one.
I don't think
Tuppence the
a bardic,
Terror.
a bardic inspiration will do Embers any good. I don't want to leave him behind with those other 2, but
You
they're
think
blocked.
right now you are probably not seen by any kobolds as far as you're aware.
Also, Embers is sort of contributing by blocking the tunnel.
Yeah, if I had a good berry right now, that would help a lot, but I don't. Okay, so let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah, we
I'll
don't have
just
any
keep
health
going.
potions or anything either, do we?
I know it's really early.
Tuppence, you come to what looks like a deep chasm. Though it's not really as deep as it might seem. As soon as you get to the edge, you can kind of see it goes down about, I think, like 20 feet. Let me check my notes. Yeah, it goes down like 20 feet into like a little ravine that runs through this area. Ahead, you can see 2 kobolds, but they're actually looking the other way. They seem to be guarding the other side of the bridge. So you don't think they've seen you yet.
Use your
Okay.
bedroll.
I'm flying. I don't really need any of that stuff.
Anything else on your turn? A bonus action?
There's no really place to hide, is there? I've still got movement left. I'm just looking for a place where...
Yeah, you'd need to use an action to hide. There's certainly the
Okay.
deep ravine ahead of you. You
I
can
just
check
meant
that
if
out
there
on
was a
your next
boulder.
turn. There's no
there was a-
rocks or anything like that around here, no.
Okay. So it's a deep ravine and there's this like bridge. Can I move forward and just be underneath the bridge?
Yeah, you can.
Okay,
you've
so
got
I'll put
movement.
myself here. Yeah, I had 10 more feet of movement. So I'll put myself here and we'll say I'm underneath the bridge.
Okay. And for now, you still have some lights, and you haven't had a chance to take the hide action, so you are still visible, but you are kind of underneath the bridge.
Okay.
The kobold's turn. We'll just do this one last kobold's turn and one more Tuppence turn, and then I think we'll switch over to Elwyn and Rook, because you're going to have heard all of this. So let's see. These kobolds back here are going to try and drag Embers back into the den area. So I'm going to make athletics checks for them. It's not going well. It's not going well. Yeah, it's I rolled a 2 on the dice and it's a -2. So rolled a 0 on its athletic check. The other one, I guess the other one's
That's
helping, so I'll
amazing.
give it advantage.
If only I had Tuppence along to help them.
Oh,
So
no.
I gave it advantage because the other one was helping, and
Uh-huh.
the other dice I rolled was a natural 1. They cannot get Embers out of this tunnel. They are
That's
like
great.
straining against Embers' weight, but they just can't pull her, and Embers is just an unconscious roadblock in their way.
Nice.
Right, and then so that's the kobolds. That person is where they want to be. Embers doesn't have to do anything. So back up to Tuppence. Do you just want to kind of put out your lights and hide here?
I'm going to put out my lights and then I'm going to use my druid craft ability.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, the range is 30 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so right behind them, I'm going to make the sound of an animal.
Ooh,
So it's a
what
small
kind of
animal. So let's say like one that the kobold would be afraid of. Let's see, can I make, is a badger's not small, but well, let's just say a dog.
Yeah, you make like a barking noise behind them.
Let's make the dog bark behind them.
Both of them jump like if there was room, they would jump several feet in the air, but they bonk their heads against the roof of the cavern. And they begin turning around and looking frantically. Can you make a stealth check?
Ooh, nat 20.
What does that work out to?
Still. That's a 23.
Okay. Funny enough, one of these kobolds also rolled a natural 20 on its perception check, but they get a -2, so you're good.
That's weird.
You hide from these things. They're kind of looking around frantically, trying to find this dog that they hear, and they're like muttering to each other in Draconic, but unable to see anything. They're just kind of like looking around wildly.
Okay. So
And at
they
that
did-
point, let's cut over to Rook, unless there's more to your plan, because pretty much at this point you're the only one acting.
Yeah, I was going to, if they moved to try to find the dog, I was going to try to sneak through.
I think maybe one of them might come out on the bridge a little bit. Just kind of like look around.
All right. So for my movement, I'll go right there and still be under
Okay,
the bridge. Okay.
that works. And then yeah, we'll cut over to. I would give you more vision, but you're kind of blind at this point because it's dark and you don't have dark vision. So we will cut over to Elwyn and Rook and see what happened with them. Not long after the two of you came up into this area with the pit and the spring trap, and all of these boxes, you started to hear the sounds of combat from further in the tunnels, muffled by the cave-in, but still audible. And at some point, you hear like more triumphant shouts from the kobolds. Like for a while, they're screaming in terror, but eventually, it sounds like they begin to get the upper hand. What would the two of you like to do?
I'm very much still a panther.
Mm-hmm.
So I just look at Rook
I guess.
with my
Do you
ears
want
back.
to remind our viewers what Panther Elwyn looks like?
Well, sure. Yeah, so she's got her fur is the same kind of pearly white color as her hair is when she's in her normal elfish form. But anywhere that the panther's skin is showing, like the pads of the feet or the nose, are that same kind of slate gray blue color of her skin. And then she's got the yellow and ice blue eyes like she does. Yeah.
And so this panther looks up at Rook and kind of
Puts her ears back.
So Rook looks at the Panther Elwyn and says, "Okay, I think we have two options. One of them is there's a path that we haven't gone yet. The other one is I don't think they would blockade their only escape route. So there might be a hidden passage down to where they are. Where do you want to go? I think if we'd search the walls on these two rooms, the one with the boxes and the one with the circular room, maybe we would find something."
I'm going to start looking around in this room, sniffing, seeing if I can find a path.
Okay. And so one of us can help the other, I guess, is what that works out to be?
Yeah, that's what it would be.
Okay. So would that be investigation?
To try and find like a hidden passageway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that would probably be an investigation.
I will help you.
Okay. I have a +4, so I will take advantage. And then remembers, oh, Tuppence had my wand of secrets.
Mhm.
Oh, natural 20 though. Okay, that's 24. Did I find anything?
Oh, okay.
Didn't even need it.
You spend a moment searching along the back of the back wall of this room with the crates, and you don't really find anything in there. So you kind of move back along the tunnel, and you get all the way along, like that first curve, and into the second curve.
We're talking about where? Can you ping the map for me?
Like around here.
Okay, yeah.
And you're doing a really thorough search, so this takes some time. But when you get to there, you actually find a place where like the rocks have been piled up and like kind of packed with dirt and things to make it look like it is a solid wall. But you kind of like, as you're putting your face and hands close to it, you feel a little bit of a draft coming from that direction. And it's not, I wasn't able to actually draw it on the map because of limitations, but you do find a sort of hidden tunnel that connects that way.
Okay.
I will use my paws to kind of move some of the rocks and stuff out of the way to clear.
Can we?
Path.
Is it possible to extend the search down into this room as well, the mushroom room, or?
If you wanted to, you would have to. So that's the first thing you would find.
Mhm.
If you wanted to go back and search the mushroom room, you could do that as well. Mushroom room.
Mushroom room. Room of mushrooms. I don't know.
But that's up to you. It's just going to take more time.
I'm just gonna start going through the path we already found.
Okay. Yeah, we can go that way. It's just, I guess, would I know? Do I have enough sense to know which direction's which? To know if that's like the direction that we came from, or because like obviously
You
seeing
could-
the map, right?
You could roll a survival check if you want.
Okay, so maybe I wouldn't know. Maybe I got a little lost or something. Let's see.
You also don't have any light really right now. You've got 5 feet of light because
Yeah.
of your ring, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
I got a dirty 20 on survival.
Yeah, you have a pretty good sense of where you've been and where you haven't been. You think that this would put you back sort of towards the direction of the entrance of the cave, but obviously a little bit off to the west.
Okay, so I tell Elwyn that and said, "You still want to go this way?" Because they went that way, and I'll point the direction like south. You know.
I sit
You
and I
said-
look at you,
Okay.
and I'm just looking at you, and I blink.
Let's check one more wall, and then if that doesn't work out, we'll go this way. Okay.
Okay, I will
Okay.
start walking toward the mushroom room.
Mushroom room.
Mushroom room room.
Mushroom room.
Okay.
So we go to the mushroom room.
We'll just continue the same investigation check.
Sure.
You don't find any secret rooms or anything like that. Let me check something.
Move the
about-
mushrooms like they're levers. What about this button?
Yeah,
them
check
down like
them
they're buttons.
levers. Could be.
Operate the mushroom machinery.
Just trying to check my notes on the mushroom farm here. What was your investigation check again?
24.
24. So that's really good.
Yes.
I'm gonna have you roll something, but I need
Okay.
to pull up a table. So give me
Sure.
a second. Boop, boop, boop. I know it's in Tasha's.
What kind of mushroom do I find?
Here it is. Okay. Would you roll me a d10?
Mm-hmm. 4.
One of these mushrooms stands out against the other ones. Oh, interesting. It's kind of like a light white-ish mushroom. And it has kind of like these red lumps that go over the top of it, but only in one direction. So like the left and right sides of this mushroom are just kind of like this pure white mushroom cap, but bisecting it, going down the middle, there is this series of red lumps that go all the way across the top. And it kind of emits a faint glow to you. And as someone who's practiced in identifying magic things, something about this mushroom seems clearly magical.
Okay. So I'll just grab it and be like, "This is special, but I don't have time," and then I'll start running towards the the passageway that we found. I'm guessing with Elwyn in tow, and then we'll start sort of carefully pushing our way through it.
Okay, just give me a second to note this for future reference when eventually this mushroom is used.
Okay.
Okay. So you're going up through the secret tunnel now?
Yeah, because the other way is blockaded, so this seems like it could be the fastest way. I'm guessing it loops around, is what Rook's
Yeah.
intuition is. Like, they wouldn't just block off their only path. That doesn't make sense.
And you would also remember
So-
that coming from the entrance, there was a path to the west.
Mhm.
So you think it probably connects to that.
And maybe it bypasses some of the traps or something. So
Yeah, possibly.
you might. Yeah.
Elwyn, as you come to about there, because you have dark vision, right, as a panther?
That's a good question. Let me check that.
I think you do.
I think I probably do. Not quite superior, but let's
Certainly
see.
not superior.
No dark
Maybe in
vision, but I have
Darth
keen
Darth
smell.
vision? Dark vision.
Darth vision?
I just call
No.
it Darth vision.
No dark vision,
No
but I do
dark
have
vision.
keen smell.
Okay. With your smell, you detect the scent of kobold over in sort of where's my ability to ping things? This direction, off to
Oh.
the east. And also the traces of kobolds moving off to the west. But you can't really see anything as a panther. Both of you are a little bit blind.
I'll just crouch down really low and try to be very quiet and hope that Rook picks up on the message.
Yeah. Assuming that I can understand that there's something right next to us, I will try and roll stealth check if that's okay. Or do you want me to try and interpret like insight or something?
No, I think you can. I think you can pick up on that. So you can go
Okay.
ahead and both roll stealth check.
All right.
Oh no. It's not terrible. That's a 10. That's a 10. Oh no.
8.
Oh wait, hold on. No, I use the Panther stats, not my stats.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 13.
Okay, and an 8 for Rook.
Yeah.
Good to know. The two of you begin to creep forward as you get into that main tunnel going east and west. Let me reveal just a little bit more.
I would like to pounce on the kobold that is immediately. Oh, it's not immediately there. Okay, never mind.
There is no kobold immediately visible.
I thought that there was
but
one
as
right
you-
outside of the tunnel.
As you come to that T intersection, which way would you like to go?
Can I smell how close the kobold to
One
the
of them,
east is?
the one that you smelled to the east, seemed very close.
Yeah, I think I'd like to go in that direction and try to sneak attack it. Like
Okay, yeah,
I
go
think I
ahead and
can-
move yourself.
pounce or something. If I move, let's see. I have to move at least 20 feet straight toward a creature to pounce it. But
As you move to there, there was one that was trying to hide in this little alcove up here, but with your keen perception, it is unable to do so. So I just need to move it to the map layer. Just going to reveal a bit more, even though you can't really see this. There we
You
go.
can smell it though. Smell-o-vision.
Yep.
smell-o-vision.
A kobold becomes visible there, or you can scent a kobold there. And you want to pounce on it?
So I can't pounce because I didn't move 20 feet in a straight line. But
Oh, is that the hidden passageway that we're going? Those little lines?
I do
Well,
that.
the passageway was
it was actually slightly.
Oh,
open,
you're right.
But
Was
I will
here.
draw it for you.
yeah.
That's a good call, Nick. I should have drawn it to begin with.
But I think what I want to do is like not the technical pounce attack, but I do want to jump on her, and pin them
Unclear.
to the ground
Okay.
with a paw on their throat and intimidate them.
Okay.
That way.
Just make. I would say this would be more of an like a strength-based intimidate because you're trying to pounce on it.
Okay.
So make an intimidation check using strength.
Strength. But do I get?
You'd use the panther's strength.
Yeah. Is it just my strength, or do I get proficiency? Because I'm not proficient in intimidation anyway. So
Yeah.
never
So
mind.
then you wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think in wild shape your proficiencies do carry over, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But if you're not proficient in it, it's a moot point. So
Yeah, I think they do. Maybe. Yeah, they do. Because normally Panther doesn't get proficiency in history. Why would they?
Oh shoot!
Dang.
Oh, it's a 23.
Yeah,
No, 22. 22.
you leap on top of this kobold, and it basically looks up at Elwyn, sees you there, and goes, "Ah! It's a panther!" and just starts shouting.
And I'm just baring my teeth and snarling and waiting for Rook to come up and actually talk.
Yeah, I think Rook would be right behind you as you do
Paw on
this.
its throat. A la Lion King Simba holding Scar down.
Can I go ahead and react to this, or
Yeah, what do you want to do?
okay? So seeing this kobold sufficiently, hopefully intimidated, Rook is going to ask. He'll say, "Where's Molo?"
He's back there. And it points off in the western direction.
And then he'll also
I heard
ask.
shouting. I think he'll be coming this way.
And then.
Oh my gosh!
Don't let
regret
it hurt
everything.
me.
It won't hurt you if you answer these questions. And he'll also ask. We also need to get to the southern part of this tunnel. Is there another way other than we already, the firecrackers went off?
No, that's the only way. And it continues pointing the same direction off to the west.
All right.
I am going to sniff his face
Mhm.
and then give him a big panther kiss all up the side of its face and then let him go.
Ah!
Big sloppy
You're lucky you don't taste good.
panther kiss.
The other thing that the two of you notice now that you're up really close is that this creature, like this kobold, was also holding like a jar, and it never got to use the jar, but you can see packed in the jar are numerous centipedes. It was clearly gonna like throw this at someone coming down the tunnel.
So did it drop all its stuff? Like it dropped the jar?
No, it's like I guess it would have kind of dropped it.
I'll pick it up.
Yeah, you want to pick up the jar of centipedes?
Mhm.
Sure. You have a jar of centipedes.
yeah, I
Cool.
do.
Cool.
And
Dynamite in a jar of centipedes.
Can we call Panther Smellwin?
Please no.
We
Please
absolutely.
Please don't.
Rook
my
and
God,
Smellwin,
that's
what would you like to do
amazing.
next?
I don't answer to that name.
I might as well be Brooke then, because I'm blind. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I will let this poor
Smellwin.
kobold go and continue
Um,
west down the
as soon
path.
as you release the kobold, it goes running down the tunnel to the east, presumably
east, okay.
out of the
back to the dens.
warren.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's fine. I'll wait for Rook to grab onto me again.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Lead him down the path to the
What? Jar of
west.
centipedes is not an actual item? Are you kidding me?
It's not, no.
I'm not surprised. All right. Yeah. So I'll lightly grab onto Elwyn, Smellwyn, and we'll move forward. It's cracking up over there.
Tuppence isn't even here and she's ruining my life.
This is amazing.
So much trouble.
What was Smellwin's perception check with her smell?
I don't know who you're talking about, Ethan.
Okay, what was Elwyn's? I'm sorry. I'll stop now.
I did not make one, but I can.
I just love hearing Nick's chuckle slowly in the background.
16.
Okay, good to know. You can still scent kobolds that passed this direction not too long ago, but none of them seem close at this point.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay. When
Do you want me
get
to like re-roll stealth or anything, or are we just gonna use the previous?
We can just use the previous ones. When you get to about that point, Elwyn, you do smell a kobold nearby somewhere in the nearby vicinity, but it's really unclear where.
Okay, crouching down, stealthing again. Moving very slowly forward.
And as you come to about that point, it becomes abundantly clear where the kobold was. It was sort of hiding around the back of this pillar. This
Oh
kobold,
shoot!
Oh!
you have no way of identifying this kobold for who they are, because you can't see color at the moment. But could you see color, you would recognize the brown scales and I think white stripes is what Molo has, that were described to you by Tess. This kobold also seems to be carrying has some sort of like patchwork leather armor and seems to be carrying a shield and a tiny little sword. And as you come around the corner, it is just like has its back against the cave wall trying to hide from you. Just like it's praying that you don't see it. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna try the intimidation thing.
I would
'cause that
also like
worked
to
real well
intimidate
last time.
this
So,
Molo kobold.
Jump on him.
Rook, you are not aware of this one.
Okay.
Unfortunately, not yet.
well, I will jump on him, put a paw on his neck, bare my teeth.
Okay.
Same thing.
Let's have that strength intimidation check.
5.
Oh no!
We can't all be tuppence.
You try
A
and
natural
leap
2.
on this kobold, but it was aware of your presence and it is sort of ready for you and gets the shield in between. And as it does so, it shouts, let me get my Molo voice ready. Hold on. You will not take the great Molo! Not like this! And it bats you away with its shield. And I think we'll re-roll initiative with tuppence in the mix as well.
Oh great!
Yes.
Unfortunately,
so
Embers, you
sorry,
are going to be out for a
Embers.
bit.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
The good
Okay.
news is Embers is blocking the reinforcements. So you're still contributing.
Yep.
Let me.
It reminds me of our other campaign, Kitty Butt in the camera.
So I guess I'll get an initiative for Embers just for posterity's
Sure.
sake. How did Embers do?
I got a 21,
21. Nice.
so I
Ellen.
don't act really soon.
Yeah, mine was a 4.
And tuppence.
You're
Muted.
muted.
Oh wait, do I use my Panther's stats
You
for
should,
But
I think,
initiative?
yeah.
the Panther initiative is with Dex, so that's a physical stat.
Okay, so that's 5.
Dang.
11 for tuppence.
11 and Rook.
2.
2.
Rolled a 1.
Okay. Embers is the first to not act, followed by a jar of centipedes, and then Molo.
The jar of centipedes has an initiative.
It does,
Oh
technically.
no.
Oh god! What have I picked
Oh,
up?
no.
It's a time bomb.
Rook.
Okay. Molo is the first to act and has a panther bearing down on him. He'll say, "Back! Back, you foul beast!" And will whack at you with
I love him.
the short sword.
Okay.
Actually, first things first, he says, back, back, you foul beast. And then he kind of like rears back, opens his mouth wide, takes in a big breath of air, and then just roars right in your ears using
Oof.
his draconic roar ability.
Ooh.
he and his allies now have advantage on attack rolls against you for this round. So he will then make a short sword attack against you at advantage. Oh, wow. A 1 and a 2. Good job, Molo.
I was gonna say, I'm not hard to hit right now.
All right. That's his turn. Good job. Tuppence, you can hear this loud roar, and you can hear someone shout like all these things about like you won't take the great Molo from up ahead, but you do not have light at the moment. What would
Alright,
you like
so
to do?
I'm going to relight the dancing lights, and I'm going to fly as fast as I can north.
Okay.
Try to get past this kobold.
Yeah. I will now reveal the rest of the map. You did kind of have them distracted, so I'm not going to give them an opportunity attack as you fly on by. So you can move your speed and do what you want to do.
I think I can get to there. Let's see. Is that right?
And those two are like, wait, was that the dog? What was that? Yeah.
So since I have the lights, I could probably see Rook and Ellen now, right?
Yeah, and Rook, you can now clearly see everything as well now that there is light illuminating the area.
I already knew that was there. Of course.
Oh, you guys found him. Oh, thank goodness. I need some help. Embers is down back there.
Oh shoot.
Do you want to do anything
Well, we
with
better
your
wrap
turn?
this up quick.
You still have an action, I think.
Yeah, I still have an action, so but I don't want to attack Molo since Elwyn's there. So, Rook, do you think you can go down and help Embers? And I'll stay here with Elwyn?
Rook looks at his hands with a jar of centipedes and firecrackers, and he's like, "What kind of help does she need?" And he kind of raises these up.
So I'll tell him that she's blocking the tunnel and there's 2 kobolds behind, but there's also 2 kobolds on the tunnel there. So let's see. Maybe that's not such a great idea. Let's just all stay together.
I don't have any spell slots either, so.
Okay, so nothing we can do. All right. So okay then. Dancing lights was my action.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So for my bonus action, I will cast. I will give Bardic Inspiration to Rook.
So just play a little chord.
Mm-hmm. You can do it, Rook.
All right.
Okay. Then it is the kobolds. Surprised by the presence of a pixie when they were expecting a dog, these ones who were on the bridge will come running forward. 20 and then... How does this work? Okay, one of them comes up and menaces Tuppence with a dagger. The other one is taking careful aim with one of those slingshots that it's got. Actually, what is the range on the slingshot? Maybe it can... Yeah, it will take aim at Elwyn, actually. So we'll do that dagger against Tuppence. That's 14 to hit.
It hits.
Ooh, okay, so that's 4 bludgeoning damage. From
Yeah,
this
I'm
little
down.
wooden
Oh
dagger.
no.
Oh,
All right, well, it is non-lethal damage, so Tuppence just goes unconscious. Oops. You put the same sad face as Embers. And then this other kobold will take careful aim at Smelwyn with its slingshot, and it has pack tactics, so that's going to be a hit with 22.
It's a miss because there's no one named Smelwyn on this fucking board.
Oops, I meant Elwyn. That is 4 bludgeoning damage as you get smacked by a rock and like right above your tail, right on the rump. The two kobolds down here by Embers will make another strength check to try and pull Embers out of the tunnel. With a strength bonus of -2. Ooh, they can't quite do it. I think they need better than an 11. They can't get Embers out of the tunnel. Oh, come on! They just can't do it. All of their kobolds are unconscious or have run away. So it is Elwyn's turn.
Thank you. Let's see. Okay. Well, I'm just going to I think attempt to bite Molo's arm. Non-lethal damage.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's a 14.
Molo manages to get the shield in the way and just says, "Not today, you stupid cat!"
Cool. I'm very useful in this fight, apparently. That's all I can do.
Rook.
Okay. Does this centipede jar look like it's like gonna break soon or something, or like?
It would. I mean, no. It would break if you, for
you
example,
throw it?
shattered it or
Okay.
hit it with a stick.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think Rook will try and intimidate Molo by brandishing the fireworks and a tinderbox and say, "We just want to talk, Molo, but you know, I'll use these if I have to. Just
All
call
right.
them off. Call off your friends."
Roll your intimidate check.
Okay. Oh. Would you believe it if it was another natural 20 though?
I mean, yeah, if you tell me it is.
It is. So, and I'm proficient. It's 25.
Okay. Molo seems taken aback. Definitely. By that.
So he Rook starts stepping forward towards him and just like has them right there next to each other, ready to light it.
No! What are you doing?
We're gonna
You
go down
light
together
that
and you
in
call
here,
him off.
we'll
You call him
fill you
off
with
right now,
gas.
Molo. You call him off.
You bring it down on all of us.
I don't care. Clearly bluffing.
But apparently not, because your intimidation was 20. So, he surveys the situation, and yeah, I mean, he doesn't bark out an order, but we'll see what he does on his turn. Embers is snoozing. Jar of centipedes continues to swarm. Molo on his turn is going to disengage 15, 20, and run away.
Oh my god. Can I take an opportunity?
No,
Or
he
Not because he
disengaged.
Oh, he
disengaged.
disengaged. Okay, yeah. Dang.
Tuppence is snoozing.
Shoot.
As he runs away, he shouts something in Draconic to the kobolds. What it is, you're not sure. Until their turn comes around and they come running forward down the tunnel, stepping over Tuppence, and try to grab onto you and hold the two of you in place.
Okay.
So I need athletics or acrobatics checks from both of you.
Acrobatics.
Elwyn, you're looking to beat a 3, and Rook, you're
I
looking
was
to
so
beat a
worried.
12.
I was so worried. I got a 16.
All right, so the kobold tries to grab onto Elwyn, but Elwyn just, I don't know. How do you rebuff this kobold in your panther form?
I feel like considering what my next action is going to do, I probably just slink. Like I'm too slippery. Slink out away
Duck
from
out
it.
of the way.
And, yeah.
How did Rook do?
9.
9. Okay, so Rook is grappled by this kobold. Ha! I've got you! I got one! Molo, I got one! That's the kobold's turn. Elwyn, you're up.
Excellent. I'm going to go pounce Molo.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's 30 feet.
Both of these kobolds are going to try and smack you
That's fine.
with pack tactics, both of them.
Can they both do that when one of them's grappling somebody?
Grappling doesn't
Okay.
stop you from making attacks.
That's fair.
One of them is a 20, not a natural 20.
Yeah, that hits.
The other one is a 13.
That hits.
Okay. So that is. Boop, boop. Oh, I'm looking at Molo. It's the wrong one. 8 points
Oh.
of bludgeoning damage.
Just have a question about Molo's
total?
draconic roar.
Mhm.
Were they supposed to have advantage?
It was just for
It
the
was
turn, I
until
think.
it was until Molo's next turn, and so his turn is come and gone.
Okay.
But they had advantage anyways because of pack tactics.
Okay, I'm still good as a panther, so I'm going to run up and attempt to pounce. So that's
Sounds good.
basically a claw attack. Please hit. Please hit. God damn it! I've been rolling really well except for this shit. 12.
12 doesn't quite do it.
Yeah, I
Again,
know.
Molo kind of puts the shield in between and says,
Jesus fucking bullshit, Christ, mother.
"The ancient dragons will bless me for my contributions to the cause."
All right. Well, at least he's within my threat range. So there's that.
Yep. Right. Then it is Rook. You're currently grappled by one of these kobolds.
Rook is just gonna slowly turn to his captor or whatever and just have that look of crazy on his face with the same things. The firecrackers, and he's like, "Do you really want this?" Try and
All right.
scare them away.
Make an intimidation check.
Okay. Oh shoot. That's a 22.
Okay. It just lets go of you and slowly starts backing away.
Yeah. Looks like
All right, man. We don't want any trouble.
Look just stares at them, watching them
Yeah,
walk
it,
away.
I mean, it lets go of you, so you've got your movement.
Okay.
That was your action, but
Let's see. I think. Yeah. He wants to go towards where Elwyn is and Molo. Yeah. Okay. So he'll just like keep eye contact with him as he sort of backs away and goes towards Elwyn and Molo. Like don't mess with me type of, you know. And then yeah, so now he's right up with them.
okay. Embers is snoozing. Centipedes are swarming. Molo is going to
Centipedes
do
are
the same
swarming.
thing. Just disengage
it.
and run. Keep in mind as you pursue, it is squeezy territory as you kind of move through this narrow tunnel. You know what? Actually, you no longer have light, so I won't reveal where Molo is. Then
This is up to Elwyn, I think, at
Kobolds?
this point.
kobolds are going to. They're having a conversation amongst themselves back there around the corner in Draconic. The other ones are still trying to get Embers out of the tunnel. Let's see if they manage. Yes, they managed to
They
pull
finally do it.
Embers out of the tunnel with a heavy heave. But then they're like, well, now what do we do? And they just kind of do nothing else. Elwyn.
Okay, motherfucker. When you said it's tight, does it mean that it's half movement?
It would be, but I feel like cats are liquid. So I feel like
Right?
it's like you should be okay, even though
They are
you're a
kind of a
medium
fluid,
creature.
yeah.
I don't know. You guys okay with me saying that Elwyn can move just fine? I feel like she
Yeah.
can.
Okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
And you really only have like 5 feet of senses without dark vision.
But my nose.
Yeah, you can smell where Molo went, but you don't really know until you're like right upon him that he's in front of
Cool.
you.
So does that count for a pounce or no?
I would say it does. You move
Cool.
to the distance.
All right, then I'm going to try to pounce him one more time. And if this doesn't work, we're going on to plan B. That's better. 18.
That hits.
Yes!
Yes. Okay, so that is
Wow!
let's see, 1d4 plus 2, so that's 5 slashing damage, and he needs to make a DC 12 strength saving throw or be
He's not the
knocked
best at
prone.
strength. Doesn't have any proficiency or anything. Yeah, that's a 5. So Molo is knocked prone.
Cool, so then I get to make a bite attack as a bonus action,
Get off me!
which is
Advantage.
Advantage, thank you, because he's prone now.
Hmm.
And that is another 18 to hit.
Yep.
So that is.
This is going much better than your last turn.
Yes.
Christ. Could have been better, but that's 4 more piercing damage. Non-lethal.
Okay. Yeah, you get some good solid hits on Molo there. Rook, what would you like to do?
So, is every square of movement double for
Yes.
me? I see. Hmm. Don't want to do that. Shoot. Guidance is touch. Let's see. Yeah, I had an idea, and now I don't want to do it. Okay, I guess I will move and dash, I guess, to try and catch up.
Try and keep up.
Mhm.
Sure.
So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, so I can get right here.
Okay, so kind of right up next to Molo, who
Yeah,
is now
so
prone
kind
on the
of
ground.
squeezing through the corridors like, Molo, just wait. Call off your kobold friends, and let's just talk for a second, and then we can be on our way.
Okay. You don't have an action left to make a check there,
Mm-mm.
but you say that. Embers is snoozing, centipedes are swarming. Molo. Pretty scared of you because of that intimidation check. Molo will stand up because it's just prone and not like restrained, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So Molo will stand up. Kind of looks between the two of you, still pretty intimidated. You've caught up, you've pounced on him. He can't get away because he, has like half of his movement, and he kind of like throws up both of his hands and says, Fine, 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 you got me. I surrender. Throws the sword and
God.
shield on the ground.
All right.
What do you want with me? Who are you? Why are you in my warren?
Should we get the others first, or have this conversation now?
We can drop out
I'm
of
going
initiative at this
to
point.
look at you and make sure that you have things kind of handled. And I'm going to turn around and run back down the tunnel toward Tuppence.
All right. So I'll say, let's gather over where you were, and we'll talk about this. And he'll kind of walk Molo back to where he was originally.
Okay.
And give Elwyn time to.
Back over this direction. Elwyn, if you just want to move yourself, you can go ahead. Are you sort of heading back towards?
So I'm
all the way
basically going to
Embers, or?
stay in. I'm going to use my lithe form. But yeah, I'm going to grab Tuppence and put Tuppence on my back and then run down to go find Embers.
Okay. As you get to about here, your foot depresses a pressure plate.
Oh no.
Traps exist. Traps exist. I
Yep.
will roll an attack against you as a sort of small crossbow that is hidden, mounted in the pillar here, fires down the tunnel towards you. What is its bonus to hit? It's not high. There we go. It's a 19 to hit, though.
Yeah, that hits.
So that's 3 piercing damage.
So this, what is it, an arrow?
It's like a small crossbow bolt. It's
Yeah,
from like a hand crossbow. So
it pierces the panther's skin, and there's a cloud of like snowflakes, and Elwyn is herself again.
All right, let me grab your token. The good news is you can see now, which you couldn't for a long while.
You said that was 3 damage?
Yes.
All told? Okay.
There you go.
All right. So I can see, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna proceed carefully, and I'm
Okay.
still gonna carry Tuppence with me.
Molo just kind of
And then Rook just kind of glares at him. Any
Okay.
other things we should know about Molo?
No.
Insight check. It's not very good though. That's a 11.
We'll roll a deception check for Molo here just to set the DC. Yeah, he's kind of hard to read right now because like he's
Okay.
not really looking at you. Just kind of like his back's against the wall and he's just kind of sniggering at the crossbow trap. So uncertain.
Mm-hmm.
Elwyn, as you proceed forward, if you want to roll a perception check.
Okay, just a straight perception check.
Yep.
Okay, that is a 15.
You get up to the bridge, and you,
Rook will shout down to Elwyn and say, Tuppence still has that wand. It reveals traps.
Actually, since I'm myself again, I'm going to just cast Cure Wounds on Tuppence at a first
Oh, okay.
level. Yeah. Since I was going to wait till I transformed back, but since I'm back. So that is... Oh, that's actually a very good roll. You get 10 HP.
wow.
Shoot.
Yeah. I rolled really well.
Well, you get down to the bridge.
And
You
I'll-
cast a
I'll-
spell on Tuppence.
And
Tuppence
I'll ask her,
regains
where's
consciousness.
Embers?
Oh my
Where did you
gosh.
leave Embers?
Thank you. Whew, thank you.
No problem, sugar. What happened? Where's Embers?
She fell back down. If we cross the bridge and keep going, there's like a curve in the bend, and she's down there.
All right, lead the way.
Okay. Wow.
What I was going to say, Elwyn, is as you come to the bridge, you notice something with your perception check, which is that this board kind of bends in the middle a little bit. It's pretty clear to you as you approach this that it won't support the weight of anything heavier than a kobold. This board will break if you try and walk across it.
Okay, great. Also, player K knew that was what you were going to say that, knowing how kobolds work. All right. Well, shit. I'll have to go and see if Rook can lend me those pitons. Pythons? How was it?
Pitons?
Pitons, I think.
I don't know if there's anything to actually like.
I mean,
It's like a 20-foot pit. So yeah, you could climb down and
go
then
down
climb
and
back up.
okay.
It's not terribly deep.
Or the
I mean,
rope
20
climbing.
feet is significant, but
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. All right. Well, I will. Let's double back. Let's go talk to Rook. See if he has something that can help us here.
If you don't want to
Okay.
have the Molo conversation without Embers, she will not have anything to contribute to charisma scores. Mr. Roldell can just do the Molo scene.
yeah.
Well,
I
it's
guess
not.
just
It's not that. I think Elwyn is concerned with making sure that you're okay. So she's not really interested right now in talking to.
So
just walk me through your plan for getting across the pit, and then we can skip over to the Molo scene.
So if there are no walls along the outside to kind of climb across,
If
then I
Tuppence
guess
could
It would
kinda-
be the long way around if you did that. The shorter way would be to go down and then back
I
up.
see. Then yeah, we'll go down and go across that way, I guess.
Well, Tuppence can just fly across if I can.
Yeah, but
slap
you can't-
Embers awake.
But you
Is there
can't
a
heal
way?
her, right? You don't have any spell slots left.
No.
I do.
Yeah, she needs healing
Okay.
at this point.
That's
Alright.
why I
So-
need to get to her.
So Rook would offer that you use the rope of climbing to climb down, and then you can either use
Okay.
it also to climb back up, or you can use the climber's kit. And he would give you both of those.
Yeah,
and
I
teach you
mean,
how
I'll
to
take
use
the rope.
teach you the word to use the
I'll
rope.
take the rope. I mean, I could transform again, but
But then you have
seems
to,
like
you
a
have to
waste.
transform back to cast the spell, right? So
Yeah. Seems like a waste.
Yeah.
So I'll just grab the rope.
okay,
And
you
you
take
don't
the
have
rope
a
and
good
use it
berry
both
or
ways?
anything. Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah, I did not cast Goodberry today. I don't have it prepared, so no. But I'll take the rope, use the rope to climb, and go across. There's nothing scary at the bottom of the pit, is there?
No, and if you take the rope to climb and use it both ways, it's really easy to get up and down these cave walls. So traversing this is no problem. As you get to the other side, it seems that the kobolds who were sort of guarding the bridge kind of backtracked and are nowhere to be seen, and you can make your way all the way to Embers without issue. There's no traps in the way or anything.
That was very kind of you.
Finally.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll get to Embers and I will cast Cure Wounds again. First level is all I have, actually. Go figure. Woo! Another 10 HP.
I'm at
I rolled
max.
a 7 both times.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So I just, I kneel down beside her and I pet her fur away from her face, kind of smoothing the blood out of her face and ears, and cast the spell. And you can see this kind of blue-white, wintry type magic kind of sinking into her and healing her wounds, and her wounds kind of close up.
Her eyes pop open.
Hi, Sugar. How you feeling?
Good. Now,
You look like you got wedged in here. Are you all right?
not a place where I should be.
Not a place where any of us should be, I think. Come on, we found Molo.
Oh, good. And I'll follow you back.
Yep. And we'll go regroup.
What has Rook been doing while Elwyn and Tuppence have been tracking down Embers?
Basically staring at Molo and watching him, and then also just probably starting the conversation a little bit. Hearing people go back and forth and stuff, and as things sort of finish up, says, "I'm sure you know why we're here looking for you."
Well, I assure you, I have absolutely no idea what you're doing in my warren.
Insight check. But yeah, I got a 14, but he just,
You think he has actually no idea what you're
Okay.
doing in his warren? Yeah.
so I think Rook kind of curves his eyebrow a little bit and just kind of and kind of listens for if Elwyn and them are coming back, or
It would take a few minutes.
Yeah.
So do you just want to kind of sit there in silence, staring at Molo?
Yeah, and maybe just I think just kind of just watching him, making sure he's not up to something, and kind of that he's gonna just cooperate.
Yeah, I mean, you see his eyes darting down the tunnel, looking for a potential way of escape.
And then, yeah,
But you've intimidated him enough that he doesn't act on the impulse as much as he would like to.
that's good.
And he kind of stays in place, looking nervous.
Yeah, like whenever he looks towards an exit, I just kind of reach for something, and then I hope that kind of gets the message back that I'm ready to act. So,
You're gonna tell me what you need with me, or
Yes.
are we just gonna
Yeah.
we're just gonna sit here,
just
or
be patient, Molo. A few minutes, and then
oh,
we'll get this over with, and then we'll leave. So we'll kind of wait, and I'll Rook arms at the ready to sort of brandish
Okay.
something.
Then yeah, the group of you come back and see Rook kind of standing, arms crossed, or jar of centipedes brandished,
Yeah, that's right.
standing over Molo.
Well, glad you're all back safe without any other traps sprung or anything.
Yeah, it's my fault. I probably should have been looking out for that.
You know, it's all right. We're all here in one piece now, and we have Molo. So I'd say this is we're getting what we came for at least.
Finally. Sheesh. Why wouldn't they believe us?
You looking at Molo again. Been looking at him the whole time. All right. So I guess we should just start with asking about the cage, right? So why did you have Tess bring that cage over to the mill house?
Oh, you know Tess?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's a good friend of mine. Does this send you
friend.
here?
Then why'd
We
you have her
didn't
do
have to-
something? Why did you have her do that if she's a good friend?
Do what? Oh, the kids thing, right? Well, I'm not really supposed to say.
I don't
kind
think
of
you're
a
in a.
big
I don't
secret.
think you're in a position to hold secrets.
But if I don't, they'll be really mean to me, you know.
Do you look at the position you're in right now? I think that
That's true. I guess if I don't tell you, you'll be really mean to me, huh?
nods. Possibly.
Molo,
just-
Sugar, we can offer you protection,
Oh no, I don't
You
think
ally with us.
from these guys. They're really strong. Besides, they're my friends. I mean, they'll be mean to me if I fail them, but they're my friends. I don't want to sell them out. I don't want to rat them out.
I look at Rook and I raise my eyebrows.
Anyways,
You think they're your friends. But are they really?
What's that supposed to mean? It looks genuinely confused.
What can you tell us about the cage? If you can't say why you gave it to Tess, can you talk about the cage and what was in it?
I think there was some kind of weird mouse in the cage.
Mhm. Yeah,
Mhm.
we got up front close and personal.
Yeah, and
with that
I
mouse.
told her. They told me to tell her to put it in the basement of the place that she works. She just started working there recently, really, and so she, we go way back, her and me. We were from the same clutch of eggs, and yeah, so she did it. He looks kind of proud of himself for completing that story.
Did you know that the mouse escaped?
Yeah, she was supposed to release it.
Oh.
Can you tell us why?
No, that's what would get me in trouble. Can the group of you make
I would
a persuasion
Just
check?
before we
something?
make a check,
Yeah?
I just want to kneel down next to Molo and look at him and say, I have a very serious question for you, Sugar. If you could compare your friendship with Tess to your friendship with this brotherhood, which one is more important to you, dear?
Can you make a persuasion check there at advantage?
Sure.
I made my persuasion check, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got a -1.
Oh no.
Oh,
So
no.
Embers is standing there in the background looking scary.
Thank God for advantage. That's a 24.
24. Okay. He looks up at you and says, "Well, if I had to pick one, it'd be Tess. We've been together forever, as long as both of us can remember. But, I mean, the Dragon Tooth Brotherhood, they promised me big things. They said when the ancient dragons, when they're revived, that the dragons will remember Molo, and Molo will be given a position of prominence and access to treasure."
Molo, dear, do you know that the favor that the Brotherhood asked you to do, and then you asked Tess to do, put Tess in danger? Tess could have died.
Oh, no, she's very sneaky. I'm sorry she didn't get caught.
We almost killed her.
What? Why would you do that? She's
Now,
very sweet.
Tess is our friend, so of course we didn't do that. But you understand that the Brotherhood put Tess in danger directly. You put Tess in danger. Is that what you want?
Was she okay?
Is that what you want?
No, I don't want Tess to be in danger, but she's very sneaky, so I'm sure she's fine. Between her and me, she's much sneakier than I am. And even I'm quite sneaky.
She's sneaky, but she's pretty squishy, isn't she?
No, she has very tough skills. Just like all kobolds. We have the blood of dragons in our veins. He puffs out his chest.
My point is, Molo, that your friends, the Brotherhood, tried to kill Tess. That's the plain truth.
He seems confused by that. He's kind of scratching his head.
They don't care about her. They don't care if she dies. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay, so what should Molo do? Looks
Molo
confused.
should trust us.
Well, you are a friend of Tess, and Tess is a friend of me, and so I guess I can trust you a little bit. But you can't tell the Dragon Tooth Brotherhood that I told you anything.
Of course
I'll
not,
be in
dear.
big
We've
trouble.
already talked to Tess about it, and we are going to keep you and Tess safe, and your names are going to be completely wiped from this. You
Tess,
don't have to worry about that.
Tess wouldn't have given us a map to come find you if she didn't trust us.
It's true.
Okay. Well, what do you want to know?
Why do they want you to put that rat in the mill house?
Well, I know it's part of a really big plan. A big plan that will make more dragons and big dragons and bring them back to the land, and then the dragons and the kobolds, they'll rule over everything. And I know that as part of that, they need to do something in the future. They're going to steal something. Yeah, I overheard them say they're going to steal something from a caravan that's coming into the city in a few days. Oh, I'm losing the voice. And he goes on and says, well, I don't really know all the details. Their leader, he's this fiery guy. He's got fire for hair. His name is Smolder. He came from Daegu, all the way from Daegu, across the sea. He brought all these animals, and they're using them to, I think they're distracting the soldiers, the wardens. They're distracting them. They're trying to keep them really distracted so that they could steal from this caravan when it comes into the city. And then he kind of bites his tongue a little bit, and he says, "But that's all I know."
I'm gonna roll an insight.
I'm also gonna roll inside. Hey, do you
Okay.
want me to switch back to the? Do you want me to switch back to the other thing instead of the map?
Oh yeah, you can switch off the map.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I finally did something right this session. That's a 22, natural 20.
Nice.
I got
Yeah,
a
he's-
16.
Clearly holding back a little bit more information that he knows.
I think all of us do the, hands on our hips, and
Molo,
like,
what is on this caravan that they want so badly?
Oh, I don't know that. I just know it seems really important, and I said that if I helped with it, then they would give me things. But I don't know what's on the caravan at all.
Then what aren't you telling us,
honest to
dear?
goodness, I swear. Hand to Tiamat.
And what is it you're not telling us, sugar?
He kind of like looks sheepish. Oh, okay, fine. I'll tell you. Well, listen. I know that this plan is extremely dangerous because some part of it involves Nyasa. Do you know her?
do we?
Embers, I think, would know without making a check. The rest of you would probably have to make a history check.
Sure.
I think Embers would just outright say the governor.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, the governor of the city, Nyasa. Well, some part of the plan is really dangerous because it involves her. I know that much.
Involves her how? Like she's helping them, or she's a target?
Yeah, or she's in
I
danger.
don't know. I just overheard. I wasn't supposed to be listening, but I heard a whispered conversation, and they were saying something about her and how it was dangerous, and so they needed to steal some weapons from somewhere else in the city to help them out in their theft of the caravan that's coming into the city. It's all very complicated.
Sounds like we have several things to do.
That's
Yes.
well. That's all that Molo knows.
Oh,
don't
is that
know.
so hard, really?
What? What was
Is
that?
that so hard, really?
Yeah, I had to think really hard to try to remember everything that I know. That was really hard. Now that you mention it.
Molo, how would you like to come and stay at the mill house with Tess for a few days? As our personal guest.
Well, the kobolds don't really like just go out into the big city and stay there during the day, It's too bright.
Well, if you think there's a way you can explain what happened here to the Brotherhood to keep them from knowing what happened and who told you what.
That's a good point. My friends probably are going to run to them. He starts thinking.
You should probably
You
just
come
stay
with
with
us to
us
the-
until you
You
can
can
find.
come with us and hide out at the mill house for a few days with Tess. You said yourself she's very sneaky. She can help you find
Well,
a
the
safe
test is
place.
very sneaky. That's true. He seems very conflicted. Would one of you make a persuasion check for this part?
I
guess
can do it.
probably
I have a
will.
+3. I can
Yeah,
help you.
I've got a
Yeah.
plus
Can I
five.
give
That
you
works.
guidance or help? Okay.
Help? Okay.
You've already got a bardic. Well, maybe not anymore.
A bardic
Hmm.
inspiration.
I didn't really
Mhm.
need it, but I did have it.
A nat 20, Rook.
Oh boy.
I know, that was really good.
Yeah. Good thing again for advantage because one of those was a natural one, but the other is still not great. That's a 10.
10. I think that's enough to convince Molo. You've made some good,
Okay.
compelling arguments up to this point. Okay. But really, that's all I know. I can't be any more help to you at all. That's it.
fine, but
That's fine.
we made a promise to Tess to keep you safe and to keep your name out of things. So I'd feel much more comfortable if you came with us. We were able to keep an eye on you.
Well, okay, then I will come with you, and I will stay with Tess.
You'll like it there. It's lots of fun.
Well,
They might put you to work inside the tavern, though, if that's all
there
right
are
with you.
mushrooms.
There's
I
a
like
dra-
mushrooms.
There's
Yeah,
a dragon.
mushrooms.
There's a dragon? What kind of dragon? Tell me about the dragon! Dragon!
I guess we tell him about the dragon on our way back.
Oh, it sounds so cool! I love dragons. On your way back, so you're going to start heading out of
So
the
yeah, I
warren.
guess it's time to start heading out.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to do on your way back to the inn?
Was today the day we were also going to go and visit the temple area?
We did talk about it, but we don't have to do that today. We've got some more pressing stuff. I think we probably should check in with the warden too.
Yeah,
Sure,
the only other thing we had was to check
Torin,
in with
let's
the
say.
other what was it? I'm looking through my notes. The auction house
Right, but that was for
Missing
another
item.
job. I feel like that could wait.
does involve kobolds, but I guess we already have our kobold of interest, so
We do.
it's
Well,
probably
we just
less.
got a lot of information
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
can help us.
Like
yeah. I think we
need
should
to.
move on to the. Hi, Charles. Though, like you said, Torin, and go back to the. mill house
Torin
first.
probably has some insider info about this caravan and might be able to tell us whether the governor can be trusted or not.
Yeah, that
Perhaps.
sounds.
Yeah.
we should do.
So you want to go back to the inn, or do you want to try and find Torin
Let's-
at like the Imperial Warden's barracks, or what's the plan?
Didn't
I don't.
that other
Go ahead.
guard told us? Oh no, we were saying to talk to Torin. They
The
didn't
other
tell
guard
us.
didn't
he
know
told us
Torin,
where.
but had heard of Torin.
He told
Yeah,
us where
let's-
he was.
Torrin told us where to find him.
Yeah. So we could just go
Let's-
directly to him.
Yeah, let's go to the mill house first to drop Molo off.
Sure.
I don't think that bringing Molo to Torrin is a great idea because we're supposed to hide our sources.
Yeah.
But then we can
Okay.
go talk to Torrin, and then maybe Torrin can help us.
Well, you can make your way back through the dens, no problem, especially with Molo's help. Molo can take you through a couple shortcuts that Tess's map didn't show, but you have to avoid traps to go that way. So Molo will be like, "Oh, watch out! You don't want to step there. If you step there, plank will fall down from the ceiling. It's got a big rusty nail in it. It'll stab you right in the shoulder, and you'll get sick from the rust. So you don't want to do that. So just watch out for that." Here, if you trip on this wire, it will collapse the ceiling on you, so you don't want to do that.
You know, I must say, Molo, this is a very ingenious design in this place. You'll have to teach Rook a thing or two.
Just looks at Elwyn.
I'm not a trapsmith. We have trapsmiths, but I'm not one of them.
Oh, what is it that you are specializing in then?
So I'm a fighter. He holds up the shield and the short sword.
Aha.
sword.
That explains a lot.
Obviously, Elwyn. Jeez.
I'm very tough.
Well, you might have to introduce Rook to some of your trapsmiths then.
Oh, yeah, I could. There are some really good
seems
ones.
very
There's one or two
interested in
back
their
the war, and
design.
they're pretty smart. Yeah, he takes you back through the dens using the shortcuts that he knows. It's clear that Tess's map avoided trapped passageways for the most part. And if you had failed to follow Tess's map, you probably would have run afoul of some of them. But he leads you back out of the dens, and by the time you emerge from them, you can tell by the sun that it is getting on to be like late afternoonish. It'll probably be early evening by the time you get back across the city to the mill house.
Okay.
Yeah, you make your way there. And as you step into the mill house, it is the beginning of the evening rush is starting to arrive. Nora from behind the bar says, "Oh, good, you're back. Some of you look a little worse for wear. Let me get you some food." And she begins bustling about trying to get food. Malt just kind of looks down from the ceiling at the group of you and says, "So that didn't go too well, did it?"
I thought it
And-
went okay.
Yeah,
We
way
got what
better
we
than
went
some
for,
of the
so-
stuff we've done together, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And as Malt looks down at the group of you and says that, and you make your replies, Molo looks up at Malt and says, "Dragon!" And that's where we're going to end today's episode.
That's amazing.
Oh, great.
Oh man.
I love Molo.
I know. He's so
You shouldn't.
cute.
He's a little like
He's a little
snot.
shit, but that's what
He
we love
is.
about him. Little shit.
he's a little snot-nosed brat.
And I love him so much.
Oh boy, that means I have to keep doing the voice. I was kind of a one and
He
done.
locks himself into the cellar forever.
Oh no. Oh
We'll
no.
just keep him around at the mill house.
All right. Well, thank you guys for playing. I know that there was a lot of jumping back and forth between players and a lot of sitting around and waiting and listening, but thank you for bearing with it. Thank you to our listeners. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll be back with more Antiheroes Anonymous Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. So we hope to see you there. Bye.
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 Dragons!